Hello, it is Topical Tuesday, February 5th, 2019. Steve Sipress here. It's a beautiful, spectacular winter sunset is occurring behind me to the west. Usually can't see all the great colors. We got purple and blue and orange and red and yellow and all that stuff. Behind me with the iPhone, but hopefully you can see it a little bit. John is here. Good seeing you. And so Topical Tuesday, what's the topic, is coming up in about 15 or 20 minutes or so, I guess, is the State of the Union, that annual, ridiculously boring, trite, just gotta be done thing that is about to be happening. It's about the only time that Trump will ever appear at all presidential. He'll likely stick to the script almost the whole time, and will be pretty much unwatchable, in other words. So no reason, really, I can't imagine anybody sitting through this whole thing. Well, actually, what am I talking about? The people that are practically compelled to sit through the whole thing are all the Democrats, because the way the game of politics is played in the United States in the last couple of decades, whichever party is not in office is compelled to sit there while the president, no matter what he says, no matter how great it is for the country, if you are not in his party, you have to sit there for the whole hour or hour and a half or whatever it is with various scowls on your face and whispering nasty things to the person next to you and making all kinds of gestures, not standing up, not clapping, not applauding for anything, no matter how great it is for the country, because that's the way the game is played. So there it is. Spoiler alert, I just gave it away. Now you don't have to watch the whole thing. But here's the deal. Small business owners can only hope, please, for a couple of things. Number one, and a whole bunch of people are here. Jeff is here. Tom Beal is here. Great seeing you. Amelia says hello. Great seeing you. And anybody else, it's all here. I see a whole list is going by real quick. Let's just finish this thing off with the key things that business owners want to hear. One or two things. And Tom Beal says, as if I am going to attempt to give the State of the Union. Well, it's not that great, is it? Not much of a union these days, at least in the world of politics, unless, you count the fact that everyone's unified by the incredible spectacle and the entertainment value that we have over the past about 3 years with no end in sight. Because now all the Trump effect has all the AOCs of the world coming out of the woodwork and acting like total buffoons and saying all kinds of crazy things. And, you can substitute AOC for Trump in just about any sentence about both of them, and it's the same thing. Oh, how stupid! What an idiot! They don't know anything. Nothing. Well, that can't work. It's impossible. Anyway, so State of the Union, AOC, too young to be giving it. But, maybe in 10 years or so, she'll be up there. But Trump will be up there tonight. And here's the deal. On a serious note, this whole HIT thing, this HIT, small business owners, you know what that is. That's the health insurance tax that came along with the worst piece of legislation of all time, Obamacare, that these inept Republicans, even though they had their majority for 2 years, could not get rid of this thing. And it still exists. This just heinous HIT tax that has been crushing small business owners for, 5 years or more, however, since it went in. Will Trump finally announce that he's getting rid of this thing? For crying out loud? Come on now. What else? How about, first of all, small business owners not happy, of course, because you got Nancy Pelosi running half of Congress. So practically no chance for more tax cuts. You can still have deregulation because Trump's, kind of the administration can kind of take care of that. But tax cuts, good luck. So small business sentiment for the first time since Trump got elected is actually down. I checked it. It's down over last year. It's still near record highs, of course, and higher than it's been, obviously through the previous 8 years through a economically illiterate president who hated small business, loved big business, but hated small business and crushed it to death. But we're small business owners. We survived. So technically didn't crush us to death because you can't. We're still here. But a lot of small business owners gave up, and that's another story for another day. But so Obamacare, got to get rid of that HIT. And small business owners are concerned. There's this uncertainty because you have a divided Congress. You have all these socialists running around, these AOCs and Bernie Sanders and I can't even name them all. What it's Beto something, or all these people of the world that are like, oh, tax everyone 90%, and we hate small business, and we got to have more regulations. See, we're really so concerned. I mean, it's so immoral to harm the, sub-Arctic, trout flea that exists in some kind of river somewhere. Now, killing babies in the 9th month of pregnancy, there's nothing wrong with that. But please do not harm these ridiculous animals that nobody could even name and nobody has ever seen one or could ever really care about. Those people are running half of Congress, for crying out loud. So you cannot expect more deregulation and more business-friendly stuff, which means that all the country suffers, of course. Even those people that have elected those fruitcakes who value bugs and animals you can't name more than babies and people, they will do everything they can to hurt small business. And so we would like to hear something from Trump that says, I got your back, I love small business owners, I'm going to do something. I don't know what, but something. Let's see if he can do that. Otherwise, the whole rest of the thing is just a spectacle and boring, and I can't imagine anybody sitting through the thing, but I'll be tuning in tomorrow, just checking online for some news to see if Trump mentioned anything at all that he's going to do for small business owners, because everyone knows, well, I don't think everyone knows, but it's a fact that small businesses, 98% of employers in this country are small businesses. Now, of course, that other 2% includes big companies, so about 50-50 on the employment as far as the numbers. But 98% of businesses that employ people are small businesses. So give us a break, Trump. You're a small business owner yourself, for crying out loud. Help us out. Steve Reckless here says, do you mean in marketing or other types of small businesses that the owner needs to hire, say, 2 or 3? Okay, I'll have to read the rest of that later. But what I mean is that small business owners, who are the backbone of the country and therefore the backbone of the world, are crapped on by liberals, progressives, socialists, communists, whatever you want to call them, economic idiots like Obama and his "you didn't build that" minions, who do everything in their power to hurt small business owners. Now, they make up excuses for it, like, well, you see, we want to help the environment. We want to help the indigenous frog, spotted frog that lives in a whatever, and, therefore we're going to hurt all businesses and give them more paperwork and more taxes and more regulations to overcome. And big businesses can overcome all that. They got tons of lawyers on staff, and they hire some more people and throw some money at them. Small business owners are wasting so much time and effort on money. At least they were for 8 years under the socialist, anti-business Obama regime, that it crushed small businesses, and every percentage counts. Now, Trump came right in, deregulated, put in tax cuts. Not only did that by helping all of Americans, giving the workers more money in their paycheck, that's more money to spend, so they spend some of that in small businesses, so that's great. The economy's been booming, but it's also be nice to give some more help and a little buffer here for the small business owners, since we know that we got Pelosi and the rest of the anti-business, small business, socialist, progressive, liberal, communist, whatever you want to call them. They all can't stand small business owners. They love their big billionaire donors, especially Democrats. Got a heck of a lot more billionaire Democrats than Republicans these days. That's the party, right? That's the Trump effect. Trump has now made the Republicans, so the establishment Republicans are miserable, because they used to be the party of the hoity-toity Republican special people. Now, the Republican Party under Trump is the party of the average working person. The Democrats, who used to be, championed themselves for decades as the party of the average working person, are now the party of either the very poor or the very rich. Well, small business owners, for the most part, we're in between. So we are looking for things to be happening. Unfortunately, we don't think they are in the Congress, so we'd like to hear Trump say at least something's going to be done to help small business owners. That's it. That's the small business owner take on tonight's State of the Union. All the other crap about a wall or no wall or this or that, or which countries are building nuclear weapons, or Russia's interfering in the U.S. Gee, that's news. name a time in the last 50 years that Russia hasn't interfered in everything going on in this country, and we haven't interfered with everything going on in that country. So that's all BS. So all the typical BS that you're going to hear about in the media does not affect small business owners at all. What affects us is the economy, and it's booming, and unfortunately it's in danger with the Pelosiites and the AOCs of the world running around rampant and flexing their muscle and acting like 2-year-olds and doing ridiculous things. So we'd like to hear something from Trump tonight. Not that I'm going to hear it tonight, but hopefully I'll read about it tomorrow. Otherwise, business as usual. We got the bull in the China shop. Trump causing havoc and causing people to be deranged all over the country, which is delicious and hilarious and great entertainment. So unfortunately, he'll likely stick to the script tonight, which won't mean some great Trumpian derangement going on and some great entertainment, other than the faces of the anti-Trumpers like Pelosi and Schumer and the others who will do their best to act like they look miserable no matter what is said or done, because that's the game. They got to play the game. And so that'll do it for Topical Tuesday. Up, Steve says, I myself wouldn't start up a small and medium. Right, no kidding. Most people won't. 90% of Americans won't start up a small and medium small business. They don't have the balls to do it. And so they got to be the slaves for the rest of the 10% that own all the businesses. They got to go to work when someone else says. They got to make what someone else says they make. They got to dress the way someone else tells them to dress. They got to, yes, massa, yes, massa, yes, massa. I understand that's 90% of the people, and you gladly want to be a wage slave, then go ahead and good for you. That's what people want. We need them. Certainly business owners need somebody to take out the garbage and, dig the ditches and be the wage slaves and complain about their boss, even though their boss pays all their bills and all their mortgage, and we take the risk so you 90%ers can have your fluffy life and think everything is hunky-dory, while the small business owners shoulder the burden of everything in the country. So that's what we're looking for tonight. Some support from our small business owner, entrepreneur, president in the White House. Still hard for me to believe, even though it's been over 2 years, that this guy is the president. But he is, in fact, the president. And what the heck? How crazy is that? Anyway, that'll do it for Topical Tuesday. Thanks, everyone, being here live and watching on the replay. Thanks for all the comments, questions. Steve says no credit seizures. Okay, don't know what that means, but I will check it out later, and I will respond when appropriate. So everyone enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. The sun appears to have fully set behind me, and that'll do it for Topical Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow on Worldwide Wednesday. I have an important tip for you to help you make money on the internet. You 90% wage slaves need not watch, but you 10% that have the balls to actually produce for the world and run your own businesses, I'm here for you, and I'll be back for you tomorrow. Over and out. Good night.